Good morning again, student. This is the fifth part of the chapter development for class 10 subject social science. Student, in the previous part, we made discussion, we concluded the thing in public facility section that money in our pocket is not all that is money in our pocket is not something that can help us to purchase all the goods and services what we may need to live well. Like it was discussed, let me remind you, it was discussed that if because of our monetary power we cannot assure a pollution free environment, or we cannot be assuring that we will get the product without being adulterated. We can also not be ensuring that if we are wanting to have any higher educational institution next to our house, it will be established until unless entire society will demand for that. We will also not get the hospitals with facilities if there are not requirement by the society. Collective securities will be required instead of individual security to be purchased by an individual using his money power. These were the area what we made discussion. Now moving further on page number 19, where there is an activity 3. In fact, it is an activity which is helping us to realize that another notion of development is, for a particular reason, is the health status of the people living in that part. So question is, how do we measure that health status of the people? We measure it in terms of the nutrition status. Nutrition scientists used to call it body mass index. It is given over here. That how our human body living, those people living in a particular region are well nourished. For that we calculate body mass index. Your book in this box has given you the formula for body mass index. Student, right now you are sitting back home, you can do it. You can calculate the body mass index of the member of the family, and if more person are there of your age group, it is advisable that you measure. Interesting fact is that there is a data already given on page number 90 and 91 of this textbook. That is how some changes has come. Before I explain what the body mass index, one point I want to clarify, student. Although I have provided the soft copy of this latest edition of NCERT textbook, but I hope that there are few students who might have the in possession of the previous year or earlier earlier years publication of the previous year textbook, in which you will find that there was a general range written. Now it has been changed, something else is written. So first let me tell you what body mass index is. For measuring the body mass index, we need to calculate the weight of the person in kilogram. Whose body mass index we are wanting to calculate? First thing is required weight. Then second, that height of that person need to be measured, and that height has to be in meters. So your formula for body mass index will be weight in kilogram divided by a square of the height in meter. It means whatever height you will calculate, you will have to multiply it twice. It means a square of this height, and that too in the unit meter. Whatever value will come. In earlier, as I was saying, that in earlier textbook the range was written from 18.5 to 25. If this body mass index of a of an adult person comes between 18 to 20.25, 18.5 to 25, the person is of good health. If it is less than 18.5, there is a case of underweight, and if the person is above 25, there is a case of obesity or overweight. But now this particular latest edition has changed that data. Instead of that, they have provided you entire table for the girl and boy student between the age group of 14 to 18, and it has been mentioned in the box that you can go through there on the last page, and you can find that what are these data for boys and girls. You can easily find what is the status. So calculate it and find in which category you belongs, whether you are underweight, whether you are overweight, or whether you are to the appropriate category. This health status was discussed just to ensure that a healthy society also is a notion of development. How? Because if we are healthy, we can achieve better, we can provide our services in a better manner. This was the one aspect, student. And after having discussed this body mass index, we can conclude that though income is very important criteria, per capita income is one of the very important criteria for considering the growth of or notion of development for a particular country or a region or a state, but it is not adequate. Moving here forward, let us take the another box on the same page where human development report is given. Student, this human development report is published by the United Nations Development Program, and here they compare various countries. What is important, student, that the countries are compared. In your this edition of the book, the latest human development report of 2018 has been published, and your book is wanting to repeat those conclusions what we have drawn so far, that income, only per capita income is not the criteria. We have to consider other measures like our health status, our level of education. Book is also claiming that it is not only 3 criteria, there are many more criteria what you might study in the higher classes, but at this level we have to consider those very important and most of the important thing, as book has written, that let's consider a small number of most important thing, that is per capita income, number 1, along with this level of education, and third is health. These are going to be considered. Now question, how to measure that? Your book for that has given another table, in what table, that is table 1.6, where neighboring countries of India are being compared on various parameters along with India, and you will be surprised to see again that it is not income what can guarantee other crucial areas to be to help. Income is not the only criteria that can help us to achieve other criteria. Something like when we made a comparison between Haryana and Kerala. In case of Bihar, we were sure that if the per capita income is very less, definitely the other area like illiteracy, like infant mortality rate, and like net attendance ratio will not be good. But we also came to know that just because higher in per capita income, it is not a guarantee that these areas are likely to be also good. Like in Haryana, in spite of having high per capita income, we didn't get very good infant mortality rate compared to Kerala, high literacy rate, and net attendance ratio. Now we are moving to this table. You are advised to open this table for yourself also. There are few countries mentioned: Sri Lanka, then India, then Myanmar, Pakistan, Nepal, and Bangladesh. And there are some columns mentioned. First is about gross national income, which is in terms per capita. Student, there is another word written over here, PPP. It is purchasing power parity. Nowhere written in your textbook, and your nowhere written in this chapter, student. And book is not wanting you to get confused with this. But let me explain what purchasing power simply means. That the power of our individual pocket, when it becomes for the entire country, purchasing power of the people living in that particular country is going to be considered. Why in dollar? Because we are comparing different countries. So dollar is that currency we use when we compare the countries. So first data is mentioned about that. Second is about life expectancy at birth. Look, with our surrounding and the facilities available to us, our life is supposed to be extending to more and more number of years. Life expectancy is simply an average life of the people of that particular region, those who are expected to live since their birth, and it clearly is an indication of our health status. The better society, the pollution-free society, society where there are good medical facilities, people are likely to have higher life expectancy. Then means year of schooling of people aged 25 and above. Another thing is shown that those people who have completed 25 year of age, how many people, it is average. It is not that all the people will have the similar level of education. So it is just an average of the different countries, uh, people of the different countries, that what number of years they have given for their schooling, and then HDI rank. Student, you will be surprised that gross national income of Sri Lanka, per capita income of Sri Lanka is higher than India. Although the size of GDP there is no match, India is way ahead than Sri Lanka. But Sri Lanka, being a less populous country, and I hope we discussed in the earlier part that our per capita income is less because of our high population. You know the simple mathematics that value in the numerator, if it is high, the outcome will be high. But if value in the numerator, along with that, if value in denominator is also going higher and higher, the output value will not be as high. So in case of India, though our GDP is high, but as high our population is, our per capita income is less than Sri Lanka. Because of this, our life expectancy is also not as good in Sri Lanka as it is in Sri Lanka. Our number of schooling year is also not as good as compared to Sri Lanka, and that's why Sri Lanka has a better rank. It is 76 compared to India. Though India is better than Myanmar, Pakistan, Nepal and Bangladesh, you read it yourself and compare the status. I cannot be reading, but nutshell message is what is giving us that again income is not the criteria. You can see that for Sri Lanka it is proving they have a high GNI, that is gross national income. Because of that, they have better life expectancy, better means year of schooling, better HDI rank. But in case of other countries where their per capita income, their GNI is getting lower and lower, these datas are also getting lower based on their gross national income. So you can say that income makes the difference. Student, down here all these three words, HDI, human development, HDI means human development index report, it is mentioned, and it is mentioned that these ranks are calculated out of 189 countries. Life expectancy I already explained to you, per capita income is already shown. So you can say, now concluding this point, you can say that we are finding more parameters for making the HDI rank better and better, but considering most of the important thing with the per capita income, we can assume that health and education level is important. It is written here, it is surprising that a small country in our neighborhood Sri Lanka is much ahead of India in every respect, and a big country like ours has such a low rank in the world. This table suggests that Nepal and Bangladesh might have low per capita income than that of India. They are better than India in life expectancy. That's what I said. This table you can compare with table 1.4. There was also the same case. For Bihar, the rate of development was very slow in the field of literacy, in the field of infant mortality rate, in the field of net attendance ratio, because of their low per capita income. Similarly here you can find that for low per capita income, these things are likely to, these other crucial areas are likely to be less. But as it is mentioned, there are some exceptions. It doesn't mean that only income or the gross national income or the purchasing power parity is the only criteria for measuring these assumptions. Student, I am completing this video section. Now the last part I shall be making for the last section, that is sustainability of development. It is going to be the last part of our chapter development. Thank you, students.